Peace and blessings, my beautiful people, from the beautiful city of Atlanta, Georgia. Yours truly, Jimmy Williams again. I'm back with another short tutorial video. I want to show you some things about real estate as it pertains to the class that we're just launching. It's the Earn Real Estate program. We're going to be, but I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. I promise you we won't disappoint, all right? From country to country, state to state, continent to continent, city to city, parish to parish. I don't want to leave any of you guys out. I love you. Thank you for being subscribers and for following us all this time. Remember, it's you who helps to make it happen, all right? Now, I'm going to talk on Monday night about the power of the double closing. But what I have a couple videos on it already, but I never really showed you guys a diagram or showed you an actual, in picture form, showing you exactly how it's drawn up so it makes sense. I thought I would do that today, okay? It's going to be the same thing I'm teaching, but I want you to have it pre-recorded so you can come watch it. If you can't attend on Monday, you'll have access to it, okay? So give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, here we go. I'm going to show you how to make $50,000 per deal when you do a double closing. I'm going to do it within 10 minutes because I got to get on another call, okay? But as you can see, everything's self-explanatory on the screen. It's a very simple process. It's a very lucrative strategy if you want to make a lot of money in a short period of time, generally in 72 hours. I'm going to show you how to do it in 72 hours. I'm going to show you how to get that property, buy it, put it in your LLC, hide from the end buyer how much you're making, okay? And then you walk away with at least $50,000 if you do this method that I'm going to show you, right? Take a look at the left of my screen here. There's 5 components that are needed. I want you to listen to me very carefully. Number 1, you need the property, of course. Number 2, you need your own company or LLC, all right? Limited liability corporation, all right? All right, guys, if you take a look at the left side of my screen here, you'll see there's 5 key components that are needed. Number 1, you need the property, of course. You need the LLC, number 2, or the corporation. You need the transactional lender. You need the company that's going to give you the funds to do this transaction. Number 4, you need the end buyer. Number 5, you need to apply the 70-30 rule. It must apply with this particular kind of deal so you can make that kind of money. So that 70-30 rule, what I mean by that, the end buyer who buys it from you, they need to be able to apply this rule and make enough money as an investor to say this is a good deal, okay? It's hard to find a buyer that's going to buy it if they can't make their money on the end. So if you look here, you can see that property is number 1 because you got to have that. You're going to take that property, you're going to put it in your LLC. Now, people keep asking me, why do you put it in your LLC? Because if you make anywhere, and I learned this from a mentor before, and I learned it from several other investors that make this fatal mistake. If you try to make too much money on a wholesale deal, things can happen at the closing table. I've seen deals go belly up and fall through. When I say fall through, they don't go through because that person on the end was trying to make more than $20, $25, $30,000. And the end buyer didn't like it, all right? So in this case, okay, you're gonna put it in your LLC because the end buyer over here will never know how much you're making. So let's just say, here's an example of the 70-30 rule. You find a property that has an ARV, which is an after repair value of $300,000. That's the ideal number, right? The end buyer cannot invest more than $210,000 to make the deal work for them. So in other words, when you pick this property up, there has to be enough meat on the bones where at the end, this guy over here can sell it on the market. You know, he or she can't put more than $210,000 and sell it for $300,000 to make a decent profit. So when you find a property that has an ARV of $300,000, if you can pick it up for $125,000, you can make the deal work, all right? Now, the next thing you're gonna need is the transactional lender. So you need a company that's really good at saying, you know what, Jimmy, I will give you the funds for 72 hours. That's how it has to be. If you can't get the deal done in 72 hours, the transactional lender will not work for you. One of the best in the industry is doubleclosings.com. Doubleclosings.com, okay? I learned this from someone, a real good realtor friend of mine. She said, Jimmy, doubleclosings.com is the way to go. I've been using them ever since, all right? So you contact them and say, hey, listen, I got a deal on the table. I got a property. Again, you have to have the end buyer. Tell them, hey, I have an end buyer and I want to put this property in my LLC for $125,000. And so what you need from them is you need the $125,000, right? For them to lend to you. Remember, when you pay it back in 72 hours, you're going to pay them a 5% fee on top of that. So they will give you the 125 if the numbers look good. They'll give you the 125. You'll end up paying back $131,250 in the end because they're going to factor in their fees. Okay. Caveat, dramatic pause. There's two other things that they're going to give you if it's a good transactional lender. Sometimes they'll put the contract together for you. They'll put that contract together between you and the buyer. Well, between you and the person you're buying this property from. All right. Pardon me. This is the person that's selling the property. You're going to put it under contract for 125, put it in your LLC, and then the end buyer has to be ready as well. So you take this particular person here you're in contract with and this person over here. The transactional lender will review the contract and put all the details together to make the deal work. Let me say that again. They do all of that. Sometimes they'll even use their own title company. So title company and contracts, they take care of that. So you get the money, you get the 125. Here's where you make your $50,000 plus. You're going to sell it to the end buyer for $185,000. Why? Because you want to make at least $50,000, including the fees you have to pay back. So 185 grand is actually 60 grand difference. Okay, it's a $60,000 increase, but remember, it's still under market value. So the $185,000, the end buyers agreed to pay this because they look at the deal. All they're seeing right now in their head is this $300,000 ARV. They don't know that, right? They don't know you're making $50,000 on the deal, profit, right? So they sign the contract with you. You get the funding. Okay, now it's only a matter of time. This is what I call a simultaneous close. What do I mean by that? You're going to simultaneously close on this property here. You're going to take possession of it in your LLC. Simultaneously, the transaction lender gets involved to help you sell it to the end buyer all together within 72 hours. That's right. It's a simultaneous closing, double closing. That's what it is. You make $53,750. How do I do that? Because the money you pay back here is only $131,250. Well, the end buyer picked it up from you for $185, right? So you are left with $53,750. Guys, this is the way to go after fees are paid. Now, how does this work so well? Because this guy over here, the 70-30 rule that we talked about up here, he's still making his money. All right. Now, dramatic pause, and I'm going to be closing here. Make sure that when you pick up the property for 125, that basically it doesn't need too much repairs. So when you start getting past $20,000 in repairs, you're getting in the danger zone if you want to make 50 grand. Now, granted, if you only want to make like $30,000, and then this number right here can be much higher, right? But if it's 25 grand, they're going to put back in it. Remember, they're trying to keep their investment under 220 grand. So they bought it from you for 185, put 25,000 into the property. Now they put out the total amount they put out was 210. Now they can go to a realtor and say, hey, listen, list my property for $300,000, which is market value. They may do 295, they may do 310, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So having said that, when they put it on the market, guess what? They make $90,000. So the profit for the buyer is what you gotta always think about. So everybody's happy here. So this person doesn't care what you made as long as they don't actually see it. And it's not a lot, it's not more than I told you, 30 or 40,000. They're gonna start screaming if they see it's a lot more than I would say 25. That's why having a double closing is important. You put the property in your LLC. All right. Now, that's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.